I guess Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So I'm actually kind of hiding right now from the geese. They've been, since it started like being almost like springtime weather and stuff, the geese have been really obnoxious lately. So I'm like kind of like cowering down by the garden hoping they don't notice me. But so it's really exciting because since it has been more of springtime, they've been laying eggs quite a lot recently. Like this morning I got 2 geese eggs. So it's definitely, my goodness, that FedEx driver is noisy. I don't know if you guys end up seeing him behind me, but he's got a very bouncy truck. Anyways, so the geese have been laying pretty consistently about every day right now. So we do have only 3 hens and 1, I'm assuming with geese they're like ducks and called hens and drakes, but I'm not, or no, goose and gander. I can't remember which is which. But anyways, we have 3 females and 1 male goose. So this is going to be our first time incubating them. So the new incubator that we got, it actually can hold up to 50 goose eggs. So once we get somewhat close to that number, we'll go ahead and throw them in to try to see how well they do with hatching and stuff. So our geese, they'll only lay for, I assume, probably a few more weeks, and that'll be about it for the year. So I'm very excited to see what kind of hatch rates we get. But because it has been like springtime and they've started mating, the geese have become extremely obnoxious, like way more than normal. So that is kind of frustrating. And the boys, they've spotted me, even though the geese can't see me. So they always gotta get their 5 seconds of fame, I suppose. But so with all of the chick operation that we've got going on right now, we are waiting for the turkeys to get back to business so they can start laying, so then we can start collecting their eggs to start hatching them. We have the 1 incubator. It is loaded with duck eggs. I think there's probably about 25 or so duck eggs in there, maybe 30. I think there's 30, somewhere in there. So that'll end up being our meat supply for this year. So we'll try to sell some of the ducks once they hatch out, but for the most part, that'll be for our meat supply. We really like having the ducks. They are a very nice supper. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then we also had just recently closed down the other incubator because it finished hatching out all of the other chicks. So we put in about 64 Bantam eggs, and we got less than a 50% hatch rate. I don't know the exact math on it. Mathing is not my thing. So we ended up with, I think there was 27 that hatched out, but one of them passed away. So we have like 26 chicks. And then some sort of chicken drama going on. At least I'm not part of it. But so we also have moved out the 11 chicks that hatched probably about 2 months ago. I just moved them out today. So they are in the bottom of one of the quail cages. Just so then that way they are safe and protected from all sorts of predators, but they're also not in the house. I'm not sure why, but this batch of chicks, the little roosters, they found their voice a lot sooner than normal. I really wish some chickens would figure out what's going on. Like, we are a good probably 75 feet away from the barn, and they are still obnoxiously loud. It's just how it's been today. I think because the weather's nice and it was cold the last couple of days, so that today it's, really nice and warm and not snowing, so everybody's kind of amped up, but it is life on a farm. But so I moved out the 11 chicks that had hatched out about 2 months ago, and for some reason they started crowing a lot sooner than normal. The chickens are somewhere between like about 3 months old or so, 2.5, 3 months old, when some of the more dominant roosters will start crowing and finding their voice. For some reason, these guys started finding their voice when they were about 3 weeks old. So basically in the house, we've had a lot of crowing going on in our dining room, and I'd really like to take the dining room back without crowing. It's kind of annoying to sit there eating breakfast, dinner, and lunch, listening to a bunch of young roosters trying to learn how to crow. It's kind of frustrating. At least they're been pretty quiet overnight. Oh, the geese. They must have spotted me. I must have moved too much. And then we also had, while we had the 64 eggs in the incubator, we had 2 different hens decide that they needed to go broody as well, because apparently they think we need to have like 100,000 little Bantam chickens running around. So we did have an issue with one of the hens. She was a first-time mom. So we had 4 eggs underneath the purse, so that way it wasn't any crazy amount. And the first one that hatched, something was wrong with it. I'm not sure exactly what, but it couldn't really move. So that was pretty sad. And then the second one that was hatched, one of the turkeys actually kind of helped themselves to it. So I have her set up in a separate cage in the barn and stuff, so that way it's a little safe place for her to have her chicks. She did hatch out 2 that were viable, and those 2 are doing very well. The other hen that we have sitting on eggs right now, she is a very experienced mom. She's hatched out eggs, during massive cold fronts and stuff where it was like -20 out. She's still hatched out eggs without any need of assistance or help in any way, shape, or form. She's kind of an old pro at this. She's sitting on eggs also, and they probably will hatch within the next week or so. I haven't candled them to see how they're doing, but I assume that Big Bird's got it going on, because I think she's hatched out like 4 or 5 clutches so far, and she's only 2. So she's a Silkie, so Silkies are really good about that. But yeah, beyond that, I mean, there's really not anything else going on. It's still too early for me to really plant anything in the garden. Yesterday, Tracy and we actually did walk around the garden just to sort of try to figure out like where we wanted to plant stuff, what beds we wanted to have for what, and to really sort of, there's chicken drama going on. We got a rooster running over there trying to figure out what's going on. It's craziness around here. But so we did walk around. We did look at the garden to try to get a better gardening plan and a better scope of what we want to do, where we want to do it, and how we want to grow things. Just like in true Lindsay fashion, I do want to continue to grow upwards because we don't have a very huge space for a garden here. So I do have to sort of maximize the growing space that we have and grow a lot of stuff vertically, which when we lived in town, that was kind of my thing, was to pack a lot of stuff in a very small space. So I'm pretty excited to be able to do it again on this bigger scale, especially since we've been able to add so many different types of fertilizer, aka rabbit fertilizer, goat fertilizer, chicken fertilizer, goose fertilizer, turkey fertilizer, you catch my drift, into the garden. So that'll definitely boost the soil fertility a lot. So we were very, very lacking in that this past year. And we did actually we decided on a place, kind of hurts my knees squatted down for that long. We decided on a place to actually plant more stuff that is not in the garden, because there's not a lot of space here. And so like where I'm at right now, you can see that there's open grass here to the fence right over here. We can't really plant much of anything in this space here because this is where we actually run the rabbit tractors when we have rabbits on the ground and stuff, which here soon, once it dries up, so we will be getting the rabbit tractors back off of the cinder blocks to put them on the ground, so then that way they can eat the grass. So we can't expand the garden this way at all, and we can't go the other way because that's where our septic stuff is at, including like the leach field and the leach bed, whatever it's called, and all that stuff. So when my dad was out the week before last, there was an old pine tree right in here, so we actually cut it down because it was very much dead. So this big space here up to the fence, which I'm not sure if on camera you guys can see the fence. I'm almost done, geese. I'm almost done. So over in this area here, it is a very sunny area. There was a clothesline here. So we're actually going to till up a very large plot of this simply to grow some winter squashes and some pumpkins, specifically for feeding the goats, which, we can eat some if we want some. But the goats absolutely love having pumpkins and squashes in their diet throughout the wintertime, and it also helps keep worms away too. So we definitely want to grow a whole bunch of stuff like that in there, and I will have to fence it in so that way the turkeys don't eat everything. Last year we tried to plant some, back in the shade, there we go. Now I'm not so squinty. Last year we tried to plant a whole bunch of like summer squashes along the fence line here, and the turkeys very quickly found them and helped themselves to all of the blossoms and all of the young squashes. So we definitely got to fence that stuff in. But yeah, I'm going to try really hard to resist playing in the dirt today, because everything in me just wants to start planting seeds, and I know that is against my better judgment. So yeah. Been very, very anxiously looking for asparagus in the garden, but it has not popped up yet, so I'm just raring to go. So if you guys are enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.